last year, the Cowboys were reluctant to move Zach to tackle. They waited until week 11 against Minnesota. All right, so they have Ty Nsekhe, who's made 17 spot starts during his career. They have Terrence Steele, 14 starts on his resume. So they have guys who have made a double-digit amount of starts. But would you feel more comfortable with Zach Martin against Joey Bosa? I personally would. I would just trust him like that. Now, McCarthy said, I would hope we don't have to go to Zach at tackle ever again. He said this last week. It speaks volumes about Zach, how he jumped out there and gave us the quality of play he was able to give us. So if they believe that Zach Martin is a better right tackle than the other options, I think it should be Zach at right tackle and keep McGovern at guard with the way he played against Tampa. Now, some Tolos tweeted me and said, well, what if Zach doesn't like that? Zach doesn't prefer to go outside and play tackle. And I kind of wrote back, so what? Should his opinion really matter? I kind of think of Joey Gallo, right? Joey Gallo, not wanting to be a certain spot in the batting order, not wanting to play certain spots defensively. Well, like, when you're starting off a year, I think you have more leeway to demand what you want versus this situation. Like, to me, worst case scenario, someone gets beat around that right side and Dak Prescott's hurt again. So, like, this is an emergency situation, in my opinion, for 5 weeks. So I'd be like, I know you don't want to do it. We need you to do it. You're playing right tackle. McGovern stays inside. And I try to be nice about it, but basically say, we don't care if you don't want to go out there. Even though he's a great player, great teammate, and a future Hall of Famer, I'd be like, who cares? We need you out there. You're our best option. Go do it.
Yeah, I get it. I probably would do the same thing. I'd probably put him out there, regardless whether he likes it or not. There's plenty of times that guys don't like playing, but they play certain positions they don't like to play. Sometimes you got to do it.
We all do certain things at work we don't like to do.
Yeah, like come in.
Right.
Like not stay home and do the show from home. But yes, of course. It's kind of the way it is. So yeah, I would put I'd put Zach Martin there, and how bad? Would you take your chances with the Connors on the inside?
Yeah,
and I would. Now it may be tough because Baez wasn't good, so now you got 3 sieves on the interior.
Yeah,
but this is where the quarterback comes into play. Dak Prescott would assign the protections accordingly, and Tyron Smith was not a problem. Tyron Smith, 62 blocking snaps, 0 pressures. So if he's healthy, he had a hold, maybe a couple of them.
Yeah.
But he was not a problem in week 1. So you protect the outside with your one-on-ones, with your Zach and your Tyron, and then you have the running back inside to help with any pressures coming up the middle.
Now
manage the protection.
You think that Gallup is a bigger loss than elCollins? We disagree on that.
Well, I don't think every team is like that, but we saw firsthand how valuable the number 3 wideout is. Like Antonio Brown, the number 3 wideout for them, against the number 3 corner is such a mismatch. It's a much bigger mismatch than
Bosa versus Nsekhe?
No, Bosa versus Zach.
Okay.
See, and it's more impactful.
If it's Zach.
Either way, like it's more impactful, right? The wide receiver on a bad corner, that's 6 if he gets burnt. If Bosa burns the right tackle, it's just a 5-yard sack or whatever it is. Now, sometimes that's big on 3rd and 12.
Or an injury.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the injuries.
Okay.
I'm not worried about the injuries. That happens, but like that's football. I think on this team
and not running it that way as much.
Well, I mean, you could. You would need help. You need to set the protections that way. Here's the reason I don't think it's a big deal. Dak, there's a stat called time to throw. Now, a lot of people think that time to throw means how much time the offensive line gives you. No, it's the time from when you snap it to when you throw it. The lower the number, the better. Dak threw the ball in 2.38 seconds on average. That's not enough time for an offensive lineman to get to you necessarily. I mean, theoretically they can. They don't. They got to beat their guy. That was less than Tom Brady. That was one of the lowest in the league in week 1. if he does that again, which I don't see, normally that's what quarterbacks do. If they're good at it, they're good at it. You get rid of the ball quick. And Gallup is I think we'd all agree that like Gallup against the number 3 corner is a mismatch.
Yes.
So I just look at that mismatch has more opportunity for points than the edge rusher against a bad right tackle. But again, it does. I'm saying this assuming that Zach Martin moves to right tackle. I would do that. I would 1,000% do that. And I don't think that's the case on every team. You know, if you've got a bad third receiver, I'd rather have the right tackle. But with this team, I mean, like their number one advantage is their wide receiving core.